Alright everybody, welcome back. Now, with everything else I've got going on, this might seem like a bit out of the process. However, this is one of the things that I wanted to try. I'm about to show you what it is. So, it starts with this guard right here. This belongs to an old 323 Estina. I don't have any need for it anymore. I just happen to have it laying around because I replaced it because it got bent up there. Now, that's not what we're after so much. Although that's going to be fun when I try this. But we're going to be painting it. So, I bought this years ago. It's Lexus LFA Blue. I intended to spray it out to have a look at it and see if I liked it and so on and so forth. Now, the thing is, this is a 3-stage. So, there is a base coat that's supposed to go under this. And we're going to be trying some different base coats. So, we've got the black, we've got the primer, and I'm going to be using that as well as my silver. And then we're going to see on the guard what it sprays out like with the different colors as the base. And then we're also going to see how many coats it takes so that you can't see the base through it. I have a feeling that Lexus do theirs with a black base coat. So I have a feeling that's what it's going to look like. I do also have some clear left over from the wheels. So we're going to clear it and see what it looks like cleared as well. So that's today's plan. Because if I can spray this out and it looks half decent, I may end up going blue for the R32, not black. Alright, so I finished my wet sanding. That's going to be the primer one right there, you got your silver one right there, and your black one right there. So in these areas we are going to do base coats in the 3 different colours, and then we're going to add our blue over the top, and I'm going to do it in sections. So we're going to have the top section with 1 coat of paint, second section 2 coats, third section 3 coats, fourth section 4 coats, and that way we can get a good idea of the color changes in the amount of coat that we use versus what we can see from our undercoat, sort of like the Mazda ones. So that's the plan here. Now I would just like to point out that this again is only for color experimentation, not for actually painting a car. But now that we have all this laid out, we'll go ahead and we'll mark across the top here, everything that side of it, and then we'll get our first layer of blue on there just to see what kind of different effects it has on it. I will have to come down to this line where the first lot of primer is so that we can see the difference in it. But yeah, we're going to separate it into 4 spots with 4 different coats so we can have 4 different results. Alright, so our 1 coat mark is up there. We're going to give all of this all the way down to the bend there some nice painting, and then we're going to slowly taper it off up this side so we can have our separation of degrees between the coats of paint here. Alright, so we now have 1 coat on there. You can see sort of where the sand is for that primer underneath, so it's darker right in that center bit. We've got a lighter color here, and then obviously our black undercoat is the darkest of them all. So with more layers we should be able to see this transition, that line there, into more and more of the color itself. So yeah, next coat in a little bit, because honestly I've got to let it dry. Alright, now that we've had time for that to dry off, we're going to give it our second coat. Alright, now our second coat of colour is on, and you can sort of start to see the sparklies in it a bit more. So yeah, I think that looks a bit better there. As you can see, that black is less black. See if we can't turn this around, get some direct sunlight onto it. It's really hard to see just because of the way the lighting is with the camera, but I'm thinking it's looking a bit better now. Oops, this wants to sit there. So yeah, you can see it's darker up this end than it is up this end. Alright, now we have all 4 coats on. As you can see, this kind of just looks like paint now. You can't really tell the difference color wise from either end, except this you can see it's kind of a bit deeper. Like it's hard to catch on camera, but there is a slight darker tone to it than the rest of it. But otherwise, yeah, it's all basically one color now. Once this dries off a bit, I'm going to pull all this sticky tape off and we can have a look at the whole thing and compare them as it goes up in coats. Alright, now, because of the way I've done it, you can obviously see the hard lines. So this is our coat. So if you see, very blue for the top one, a little bit darker again in the silver. As for our primer, you can sort of see the darkness at the top there, and it sort of tapers down to not very much different to that one. This one here, it's hard to catch in the light, but you can sort of see that as they go down, it gets closer and closer as well. But that blue is not that much different from that blue, and that line is harder to depict. Even with bare eyes, it's not particularly easy to see. One of the things I do want to do real quick is give it some clear coat. Now again, this isn't supposed to look 100% amazing, but the clear coat should help what is there pop. Give it a real nice shine, and we can see what the depth of the color looks like. Alright, let's lay a quick layer of clear over this just to see what happens. Ooh, that definitely did something for it. That is very pretty in the color. I think the 32 might be going that color after all. Ooh. Yeah, that's the good stuff. Now in low light with just a light on it, as you can see, it is pretty much just blue. Just blue. And it's kind of pretty the way it works. But yeah, it's definitely got some color shifting on it. But yeah, otherwise with the light off of it, it's kind of just dark blue. Almost, yeah, that's very dark. Alright, now in the dark with only a little bit of natural light behind me, you can see it's quite dark, although that seems to pick it up pretty well. Grab a torch, and you can see quite dark there, and as we run over the top of it, you really start to see those different colours in it. Alright, and if you're still watching, thank you for joining me. This has been an interesting experiment. It's just something I wanted to try. I didn't really put too much thought into it, but I thought, you know, there's a bunch of different reasons why painters do what painters do. I'm not a painter, and I thought I'd just share what I find. So, yeah, anyway, peace out.